Welcome to Financial Clinic, your ultimate guide to achieving financial success. Proudly sponsored by NCBA Bank. Join Sally Limo as she expertly shares invaluable tips and insights designed to empower you in reaching both your personal, business, and financial goals with NCBA Bank. Your journey to a brighter financial future starts here.
NCBA. Go for it.
Greetings, my name is Ronah Kabue. I head Diaspora Banking at NCBA Bank, based in Nairobi, Kenya. What is Diaspora Banking? I'm glad you asked. Diaspora Banking has to do with providing financial solutions for Kenyans who live and or work outside of the jurisdiction of Kenya. So are you based abroad, in the US, in the UK, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, we're able to actually provide financial solutions for you. The topics to be covered are, how do you invest back home if you're based abroad? What to do, how to do, and when to do it. Additionally, what should you really invest in? Should it be in property? Should it be in shares? What exactly works for you? And these are the things that we'll be addressing in this show. NCBA Bank is able to provide financial solutions to Kenyans based abroad. What solutions, you ask? The most basic being an account. Open an account with us, and an account that you can access from wherever you are in the world using internet banking and mobile banking. Additionally, we provide advisory services where you can actually invest. Additionally, we are able to support your investment journey back home. Are you looking to purchase property? Are you looking to take a mortgage, purchase a piece of land, or even construct? We're actually able to do that for you. Also, over and above that, looking to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds, we're able to advise what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And over and above that, investment in shares at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Reach out to us through our contacts on our website, and we'll be happy to support you. Looking forward to fruitful engagements with you. See you there.
Twende Mbele. NCBA. Go for it.
And indeed, good morning, a very good morning from wherever you are joining us this morning. Financial Clinic is right here, and it's never going to be the same from today moving forward, because we are here and celebrating partnership with NCBA Bank. Just like you've heard, we are going for it. You're going for that success, financial success with NCBA Bank. So this morning, even as we get into discussing the topic on challenges that the diaspora faces when it comes to investments, then we're going to do it with the experts. NCBA representative is here. She's going to introduce herself to us. And I also have another financial expert on matters investments. So remember to talk to us on 20316, our SMS line. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. Send in your questions, comments, and even compliments for the beautiful lady and gentleman. Karibuni sana to the studio. Welcome to the show, Nicholas and Ronah. And I'm going to start with you, Ronah, to introduce yourself, as much as you've done it in that video, but just for the sake of those probably who missed it.
Super. Thank you so much for hosting us this morning.
Yeah.
My name is Ronah Kabue. I head Diaspora Banking at NCBA, based here in Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
Nick?
It's an honor to be here. I'm Nicholas Mailu, Senior Financial Advisor, working with one of the fast-growing investment banks in the country.
Okay.
It's an honor.
Fantastic. And I'll start with you, Ronah. Just briefly, the diaspora banking aspect, what is it about?
Okay, that's a good question. So diaspora banking has to do with providing financial solutions for Kenyans who live outside the jurisdiction of Kenya.
Okay.
Right. So if you're based, I don't know, in the US, in the UK, even in Africa, Botswana, South Africa, then and you're a Kenyan, then you're considered a diaspora person. So what then diaspora banking means is providing financial solutions that speak to those individuals in terms of speaking to their needs, whether it's investing back home, whether it's remitting money back home, whatever they may need with regards to financial solutions or financial support. That's what diaspora banking is all about.
Okay. Yeah. And what kind of investment platforms do you have then for this particular community? Okay. Yeah.
So with diaspora banking at NCBA, first of all, we have a fully fledged unit for diaspora banking. So we have a team that takes care of Kenyans abroad. That's all they do.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a team of relationship managers and service officers who are able to take care of their needs. Over and above that, they get support 24/7 support from our contact centers. So because we need to also factor in things like time difference. So if somebody calls us or calls the bank and they want to get help with a transaction, for example, then they're actually able to get that help no matter the time. So we have a support system in that way. But beyond that, when it comes to investments, we also have a fully fledged property finance unit. What that does then is provide property finance solutions that address Kenyans who are looking to invest back home. So you're looking to purchase, say, for example, an apartment or a townhouse, we're able to finance that for you. If you're looking to purchase a piece of land, we're able to finance that for you. The one key solution that we have that speaks really to diaspora banking solutions is a product we call Easy Build. So Easy Build is a construction loan facility. But why we call it Easy Build is because we provide a consortium of specialists to assist our people out there to be able to do their construction back home more efficiently. So then the consortium of specialists is architects and engineers. We vet them. We have a consortium, a team that actually handholds our clients to be able to do that kind of construction. Over and above that, to be able to execute that, we have project team well within the bank that actually now takes care of the project. They're the eyes and the ears on the ground for the client. So when you're looking to do a construction, whether it's residential or whether it's commercial, then we're able to support the person who's abroad in that way. But the most basic solution that we have is an account to be able to do those investments back home. Then you have an account with us, and having an account is as easy, it's so easy to have one. And that account, you can access it from anywhere in the world using internet banking and mobile banking. Our platforms are quite robust and secure, so you're actually able to transact quite efficiently. The other investment solution that a lot of people have been looking to do from the diaspora is investing in treasury bills and treasury bonds. How do you go about that? We offer advisory services around that, and also be able to support an individual who wants to invest in those bonds and bills and be able to help them to be able to do that. Looking to invest in shares as well, be able to support that as well. Yes.
Fantastic. And Nicholas, probably I'll bring you into the conversation. Then how do the diaspora now access such, opportunities? Because there's so many from what Carol is talking about. Before Carol now tells us how now I'm away, I'm in the diaspora, and I'm able to build without my aunt has eaten my, those things. Carrie will talk to us about that. But how do you access those opportunities?
Oh, thanks. That's a good question. I'll say that there's a lot of development in the fintech, in both the commercial and the investment space. And also the regulator, that is the CMA and Central Bank of Kenya. They have also facilitated ease and comfort. For instance, when initially there was a lot of paperwork and actually availing yourself in person in Central Bank of Kenya when you want to do T-bills, those are treasury bonds and government bonds. But as of now, they have an app, DAO CDS. Which you can actually download that app, and actually you can also input the information, and you're prompted all through the process. So basically, it's an easy way to access. Then also from a CMA perspective, there's also a lot of information out there, webinars and all that. So it's upon actually the investor in the diaspora and locally for them to go just to have that urge to seek information. Because precisely information is power.
Information is power. And there's no excuse, Ronah, when it comes to construction, because like you're talking, you talked about, you can construct while you're away. How is that possible? How is that done? Just for someone who's probably interested and like, wow,
Okay. So you're looking to construct a residential home. So you either already own the land, and you can construct on that land that you already own, or you want to purchase the land and construct at the same time. A lot of times you'll find people purchasing land and keeping it for a while, and then eventually make a decision that I will construct on it. But with NCBA, we can actually finance you to purchase the land and construct on it at the same time. So with construction, then how we go about it is, first of all, check eligibility. First things first. Right? And with NCBA then, checking eligibility is checking your incomes. Are they able to support that loan facility? We'd use incomes. For diaspora, use your incomes from wherever you are. So if you earn in US dollars, we'll look at your, for example, your pay stubs that are in US dollars, right? So we check eligibility using your pay stubs or whichever incomes that you have. And we also just check other things like for construction, you need to have the approval, so we need to check that. And the bills of quantities, we need to check that. So our project team, that's the first thing they do, right? So the key one especially is around the bills of quantities. You'll find that from time, I mean, you're abroad, you don't have an expertise on checking if what your quantity surveyor has done is okay.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in and look at the bills of quantities and ensure that they are not overstated, understated. So when you start your project, you actually start and finish it successfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, because, you know, going by the stories that people are always coming back and crying, the families have done this, you've sent money home. So there we are. I mean, for whoever is listening, watching, you know, us from wherever, the diaspora. And remember, diaspora is not just the US and all, includes Uganda, Tanzania, isn't it,
Africa,
Rona?
anywhere, so long as you're not within the jurisdiction of Kenya.
So remember, there's a solution right here. Don't say you cannot construct because you're far away. Here's a solution from NCBA. Okay, come to matters fintech. You've talked about fintech. There's also, you know, the digital space is easy to access and all that, but there are risks involved, Nicholas. What are some of those risks, and how do you mitigate them as a diasporan who wants to invest back home?
Well, I'll start by saying that just like a lawyer, when a case is brought in a court of law, the burden of proof is there on the one who is offended. Yeah. So to the investor side, the initiative to do due diligence should be on the investor side, and then to also understand that you don't just invest in a company because of the hype. Don't be driven by returns. Do your background check. I think for me, what is most important for an investor, one is security, which is it's actually tied to the brand. So basically, you do your due diligence around the brand. Okay. Then now you go to the product. When you go to the product, you evaluate from an investor point of view that is this investment solution that I can use to achieve my goals. Because actually, it's about you. Then now you go ahead and seek professional guidance. That's where a fund manager comes in. And of course, in both commercial and investment banking space, there are REMs, there are financial advisors who are vetted and even have credentials in line with the requirement of CMA, just to make sure that you are in good hands. Then lastly, you evaluate also your whether you have a well-balanced portfolio. Then so don't fully rely on the digital platform. You have also, you have a role to play, and then as you believe in yourselves, also believe in brands and that are well established, and just seek knowledge.
Great. From what you're saying and from what Ronah has said, you've given us the risks, and I'm glad that you've talked about, you know, the investor needs to do the due diligence. But Ronah is telling us you do the due diligence for your clients, isn't it? You do that and all that. So there's an advantage when you work with an institution like yours, right? Yeah. Talking about challenges now, because, you know, most we're discussing the challenge. What are some of the challenges that the diaspora people go through that you've experienced with your clients?
First things is I don't know. That's a very common challenge. I want to invest back home. I want to start my investment journey back home, but I don't even know where to start, what to do, where do I invest, what do I invest in. That's a common challenge that they experience. Beyond that, fear, like you just alluded just now, you know, people have done investments back home through family, through relatives, you know, and they've lost money. So why should I then therefore invest through, for example, a financial system? So that's fear as well. The other challenge is around, for example, remitting money back home. How do I send money back home? How do I make sure that I'm being able to send the money back home efficiently, in a cheap way, and it's safe as well? They don't want to lose their money. So, I mean, those are some of the challenges that we've seen a lot of diaspora people going through. also authenticity of what they're investing in. You know, you've heard of stories where I was told I bought land but it doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
Or even the quality of what I'm investing in. If I'm purchasing an apartment, for example, I'm not here. What eyes and ears on the ground to actually, you know, give me the comfort that what I'm investing in is actually good for my money.
Right.
So those are the things that then we're able to come in as a financial institution and kind of address to a large extent. So for example, if you're purchasing an apartment, we will do a valuation on that apartment. Right, and the evaluation will give us, our evaluation report will give us more information about it. We'll do a valuation on a piece of land that you're looking to purchase. So when we talk about due diligence, to a large extent, that's what we are referring to. That with that valuation report, then we'll be able to know if that investment is good for you, and not just for you, and for us as well as a bank, because we have an interest in it. So if a bank has an interest in it, and it's good for business, and it's good for business for you as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
This, as I said when we started the show, is a financial clinic show like no other. Twende mbele na NCBA. This is where you're going to get all your financial solutions, including how to create wealth, how to build yourself financially in terms of, you know, personal growth, how to open those accounts that will just secure to enable you to be able to now invest and reinvest the compound interest and all those things. So keep it here. Send in your questions, send in your comments and compliments on 20316 0786 316 316 is the WhatsApp line. Twende mbele pamoja ili tuweze to be financially empowered. And back to our conversation. Nicholas, when it comes to regulations and those legal, you know, things about when you want to invest, what can you tell the diaspora people who are watching this morning?
I know some question. So let me start with commercial banking. Commercial banking are regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya. And then investment banking and brokerage firms are regulated by Capital Market Authority of Kenya, CMA. So it is very important for an investor to find out whether if it's in the global market space, where you find money markets and money market funds and special funds. They are collective investment schemes. And of course, the special fund are special collective investment schemes. But now they share a common structure, which actually speaks to now the regulation around that in an effort to protect now the investor. So a regulated fund as now the CMA is the regulator or the authority, then we have a custodian bank. And these custodian banks, in most cases, they're supposed to be a one-tier bank. And that speaks to their now liquidity and also the capability of the bank. The essence of a custodian bank is actually to keep custody of the funds, because now in the investment space, we talk about asset under management, AUM. So that one is, and then investment banks are not allowed to take deposit like commercial banks. Then there's also a trustee, and there is now the fund manager. A good example is now Standard Investment Bank. We have a product called Mansa X, special fund by Standard Investment Bank. So in this case, the structure is like that. And even in NCBA, they also have a money market in the investment of it, which has a similar structure. So that's one is actually to make sure that you are not, the fund is not controlled from like a one-man show. So it's basically, it's a well-structured, and then also every party has a role to play. So there's separation power and specialization.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Ronah, you know, the financial literacy is one thing that actually comes out as a barrier for many people, even when it comes to investing, for example. As NCBA, how do you ensure that your clients are well educated, well versed with your products and all that?
So good question. So at NCBA, what we do, constantly sending communication to our customers, whether it's via email or via SMS. We actually do that quite often.
Okay.
The other key one that we do, especially the diaspora, is the webinars, right? Where we actually address not only just the solutions that we offer, but beyond that, beyond knowing that NCBA can finance me for a property, for example, how do I go about it? And like Nicholas has alluded, you know, what are the regulations around these things? How do I feel secure around those type of investments? So for us, we disseminate a lot of information on our websites, on mostly having interactions with our customers through webinars. And the other key one that we actually do is we go to the diaspora. We do travel to the diaspora. We meet the Kenyans abroad and talk to them and invest with them and show them what to do, how to do, what to fill, what form to fill, what you do, what you need to provide. How do we start your journey? So some of the things that we do, especially in the beginning of the first half of the year, is actually go to the diaspora and meet with them and talk to them wherever they are.
Fantastic.
And be able to give that information.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to matters, you know, because at the end of the day, the diaspora community needs to make a decision in terms of, do I invest back home or do I just invest here, wherever they are? What are some of the factors that probably they should or consider when they're making that decision, Nicholas?
I'll start by saying Kenya is our motherland. We actually appreciate what the diaspora community are doing in terms of remittance, also supporting their family, and also investing back once they acquire now the global exposure as a global citizen. They come home and start even businesses. So truly, that's part of giving back to the society. So I'll start with one. Being loyal to your country and proud of your roots. So basically that's from a social perspective.
Okay.
And the second one is also, if you try to compare in terms of returns, the returns in the developed nations, the likes of US and UK, and the returns that we have back home, you see, actually, we are quite somewhere. Yeah. And that's feedback that we get a lot. Because even going by now what happened recently, the lowering of the CBR rate by now central bank, the impact of the same and what Fed did at the last quarter of last year, the market actually behaved differently because also the economies, in terms of the strength of the economy and the size of the economy is different. So I'll say for this diaspora community, we have dollar funds locally. We have brands that are actually and are well-trained finance professional who can guide investors just to invest locally. The other thing is that if you also look at the aspect of even like the Eurobond, these are enough potential. Okay. Then also we must also acknowledge that a good percentages of the investment in the government instruments, that is T-bills and treasury bonds, the institutional investors and the diaspora community. Okay. Yeah. So, but if you look at the report of what the market has actually shifting, the locals are also embracing, and also the diaspora population. So I believe there's enough potential, but that's not actually to undermine what the pioneers have done. But Kenya is turning out to be an hub in terms of fintech, in terms of investment opportunities, and if foreigners can see an opportunity back home, why not a Kenyan born?
Okay. All right, interesting. So when it comes to the currency fluctuation, for example, and even the exchange rate, how does that impact the diaspora community when it comes to investing? And do you have a way that probably your clients can just have the exchange rate online? Is it automated? Yeah. Okay.
Now, when you have an account with NCBA, and you have mobile banking with NCBA that comes with the account, you have something called FX Now on the app. right?
Wow.
So you'd actually do your currency exchanges yourself, right, with FX now. And from time to time, we actually have what we call a happy hour. So the happy hour basically means you can do your FX conversions at preferential or you know, very preferential rates. So again, we make it accessible, make it easy for the individual to be able to do their foreign exchange rate transactions more efficiently. But beyond that, I mean, I did allude to the fact that we have a team that supports diaspora banking clients. So with the team as well, you know, once we reach out and you're able to speak to one of them, they're able to get you rates that actually work, depending, of course, on the transactions that you're doing. Currency fluctuations do, to a large extent, affect how somebody does their investments back home. When the shilling is weak, then it also means that your dollar, you get more from your dollar because the shilling is weak. So when you send money, when you send dollars back home, you actually get more shillings from that. So it does affect in a large way because then it means that you have to be alert to the currency exchange rates that are happening at the time, and then you're able to determine when to send money back home. Is it a good time to send money back home? Will I get a good rate? So again, it also needs the individual to be prudent in terms of when to send the money. What does that mean for them? Are they getting more? Are they getting less? And again, like I mentioned, we come in as an advisor, so we do provide advisory services that are able to give you guidance on what to do when it comes to your foreign exchange rate conversions.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm seeing already we have a lot of interactions online, and someone is saying, good morning, family. Peter Murori from Qatar here. And then today's topic on diaspora investing is on point. Really enlightening. Thank you, guys. And then there's also someone who's saying, can they, hello, Sally, please ask NCBA expert, what are some of the investment channels that one can invest in back home, and in specific, how does the bonds work with someone who wants to invest in them? What's the procedure? Can they issue bonds in foreign currency, Ronah? So there are two questions there for you. One, can one invest back home? And in specific, how does the bonds work with someone who wants to invest in them?
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So Nicholas did allude to central bank having an app, the DAO CSD. So first thing is download the app. The app will actually require you to have an account with the bank.
Okay.
So before you start, open the account. Come to NCBA, we open for you an account. So that when you go to download the app, then you can input the account number there, because that's one of the requirements.
Just for them to know, how much does it cost to open that account, maybe?
We do not charge to open an account. The account doesn't have a minimum balance.
Okay.
You'll just be required to put in an opening balance.
Okay.
Right, and you can put in as $10, 1,000 shillings, just as an opening balance. Yes.
Okay.
So once you open that account and once you have the app going, then you can actually come and we can advise you on how to go about the investment.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So the expectation is that when you're ready to do the investment, the money is sitting at an NCBA account, so that then when you go on the app, then you can be able to do the transaction. So that's how to go about it. But remember, I did say that we do offer advisory services, right? And when you have an account with us, like I alluded earlier, we do send communication with regards to bonds or bills that are available in the market for you to purchase. So when you get that communication from us and you're interested in it, get in touch with us and we'll guide you on what to do. But as a start, go get the app, open the account, download the app. Then from there we can handhold you and show you what to do.
Fantastic. Yes. So the beginning point is downloading the app.
Yeah, open your account, then download the app.
Okay.
Because the app requires you to have an account that you need to input in the app. Yes. Yes.
Nicholas, what are some of when the diaspora community invests back home, does that have any impact on job creations, probably, back home?
Yes, and a big yes, because in commercial banking we have a diaspora division. These are professionals, senior bankers, well exposed and well trained, who are in a position to work now, our diaspora population.
Okay.
Then also, so basically, that's job creation. Because basically there are families behind these professionals. Then also in the investment banking space, of course, there is RMs and financial advisors. At a private also level, they also have YouTubers who are also doing that. So basically the motivation to tap into that market is we see potential in them. So there's a lot of, even from a government perspective, the income that comes, actually the remittances that come, they also affect also the currency. The currency. Let's say, for instance, dollar vis-a-vis Kenya, whether it's appreciating or depreciating.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Then if again I can go back to the socials, and I'm saying this is someone from Italy. She's saying, hello, why is our hard-earned savings deposited in SACCOs all over the country is withdrawn, read, stolen or looted in large quantities without our knowledge or approval? Lisa. So for her, I think it's about the SACCOs and probably maybe just savings from whatever, because it's about savings. Ronah, would you like to speak to that?
Okay. I will not speak to
the SACCOs. Yeah, for sure.
But I will speak to the fact that, and Nicholas did allude to it and said that do your due diligence. Yeah. It's important. And he also said that deal with institutions that you know, like in the banking industry, deal with the tier 1 banks, because they have a strong asset base. You know, they have the regulations are strong. The levels of accountability as well are quite strong as well. But like I said, the due diligence is really important. And when it comes to due diligence and what are we saying, what are you going to be looking into, right? What kind of, say for example, let me use the rates. If, for example, you find an institution is giving an exceptionally high rate compared to the rest of the peers, then maybe that could be an indicator that, you know, maybe you might want to look at something that's a lot standard around the same kind of product cut across the financial institutions. Some indicators exist, right? And like I said again, advisory, speak to us and we will guide you. Again, Nicholas, has a lot of information and knowledge about the same. Speak to us. We will guide you and show you what to do. Okay. Yes.
Maybe in addition to
what saying.
Yeah. So basically, when now you are reviewing and appraising an investment solution, it is key to know their investment strategy. The investment strategy of now commercial banks, money market funds, special funds, they are different. And also the other key thing is also to understand yourself. Are you risk averse? Basically, what is your risk profile? And that can only be done with the assistant of a professional. So basically, Kenya is a resilient nation. The structures are there, and I truly believe even in the SACCO space there will be a turnaround in a positive way.
Ronah, is NCBA, because for the diaspora community who are out there, for sure they keep transferring money here and there. Is NCBA fully integrated with, the money transfer apps, for example, the SWIFT, M-Pesa, and all that, including World Remit?
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So what we've done as a bank is when it comes to remittance of money, we have partnerships with international money transfer service providers who now make it easier for an individual to send money back home. Of course, the SWIFT system has been in existence for a long time, and that's still in existence. Our customers are still able to use it. And with our channels, our internet banking, mobile banking, you can actually use that to move money from your account to, say, to M-Pesa to somebody, So if you want to send your mom some money and the money is sitting in an NCBA account, you just log in, send the money to them. So with these partnerships, obviously, then it has become much easier to move money around. The partnerships we have with remittance companies has made it much easier. Not only just easier, it's cheaper. And just the access in terms of making sure that if I use the service provider, I'm guaranteed that my money is actually going into the account that I'm sending money into, you know. Even follow-up, you know, if God forbid, if something happens, you've done a transfer and, you know, maybe you put in a wrong digit, the money doesn't get lost. We have ways to actually track the money and actually return it to you. So those are the things that we're able to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, again, back to our viewers and listeners, because we're here because of you people, and thank you so much. Someone is saying, good morning, Sally. I'm happy that we now have experts on board to hold accountable for the insights we get from the show. I want to know the rates. If I'm abroad and want to invest with NCBA, for example, being one of the biggest financial institutions in Kenya, what are their rates? Because I don't want to invest where 50% of my investment is enjoyed by the bank.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Thank you for the question. So, when you talk about rates, rates could be a rate to interest rate when it comes to, say, when you're purchasing a property. Currently at NCBA, we're actually lending, for property finance, we're actually lending at base rate, which is 15.34.
Okay.
That's in Kenya shillings. The other thing we do at NCBA is that we can lend to you in Kenya shillings, in US dollars, in British pounds, or in euro.
Okay.
So long as your income is in those currencies, right? So, of course, when you borrow in foreign currency, then again, you also get a preferential rate or a rate that is not as high as the Kenya shilling one.
Okay.
When it comes to investment in the money markets, again, we're also able to do that for you. Currently at around 13% or so. And again, fixed deposit accounts, called deposit accounts, we're also able to do that for you at preferential rates.
Yeah. Okay. Nicholas, when it comes to misconceptions, because they're there, we can't ignore them. What are some of those misconceptions that Kenyans have about investing, you know, back home? Kenyans in the diaspora have about investing back home?
Most of the misconceptions and perceptions are actually informed from an experience.
Okay.
We all come from a family unit. So in most cases, the betrayal now starts for there. You truly entrust someone with the responsibility of maybe running around, looking for an investment solution. They advise you. They are not professional. Maybe it's a doctor, maybe it's a nurse, maybe it's an engineer. But now that is your brother, is your cousin, and you blended too well when you are back in Kenya, then you give him now the role to play as a financial advisor. Now, whatever they give you, you take. Now, for those who have lived more than 30 years, they have enough experience of that. But now, if you realize, even, I think I haven't touched on the real estate. I was privileged to work in the real estate sector. And I realized actually the most loyal investors in real estate sector are actually our diaspora brothers and sisters. Why? Because now they have found a credible institution that they can actually entrust. And all they are doing is now they are, instead of now allowing now a family member or a relative or a former colleague at the workplace or maybe even people that we schooled with in high school, now they are giving the core role to now the company, the entrusted brand, because they have a brand to protect. And then now the other person is just to ensure that either they are dealing with the right people. And but the beauty of it is that as a global village, even from payment perspective, RTGS, PesaLink, they are working. So you don't have to pass, money doesn't have to pass through a relative to now a bank. You just work with the institution. And if it's a land, then you send someone now to view the land. If in case of now other options that we have in the market, because also we have to observe what we call a balance between now financial asset and physical assets, so that we maintain some level of liquidity. That's where Ronah and myself come in. you realize that you are dealing with fund managers, you are dealing with institutions.
Okay.
You have an opportunity to do your due diligence. Okay. So I think the issue is revolves around one, trust, which actually we have grown, and we have an opportunity for them to navigate that.
Awesome, because I'm actually seeing a comment. Actually, is it a question? Yes. Hello. Thanks for the show. If I was to buy a land, will NCBA link me with a seller and help through the succession process? I'm tired of being conned. I think that marries into what you was talking about. Yeah. So, Ronah, probably you can take that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really like that question.
Yeah.
So what the bank has done, or what we've done at NCBA, is we have partnerships with real estate developers.
Good.
Right? And so those partnerships, we're able to actually ensure that if I am going to recommend X, Y, and Z, then as a bank, we are comfortable with the products that they have. So the answer to that question is yes. We can be able to link you to developers or land sellers that are credible and that will be able to guide you on how to go through the financing solution.
Okay.
Yes.
And just again, another one probably just after that immediately is, does NCBA help a diaspora investor identify and eventually acquire property? I think you've spoken about it, but still probably she missed it.
Yeah. So you want to start your investment journey back home. Yeah. You want to purchase a property, but you have no idea where to start. We come in as an advisor. Question is, for example, do you have a preferred area that you want to invest in? Do you have a budget, for example? Yeah. And then based on your budget, what do? We check if you're eligible. Okay. Yeah. And also beyond that, if you finally do decide that this is a property you want to purchase, to a large extent, one of the things that we do is actually go and see that property. Okay. We actually have eyes on it. Okay. This is it. This is what forms part of the credit process. So you as a diaspora who's not here, I'm also telling you that I have seen what you're investing in. I have gone, I have seen it. Yeah. And beyond that, when we start the loan application process, like I mentioned earlier, we'll do a valuation on that property. Again, giving you a lot of confidence around that investment that you're getting into. So yes, the answer to your question is yes, we'll be able to direct you in the right direction with where to invest.
Awesome. And even as we get, we are just getting towards the end of the show. Just to our listeners and viewers, I want to urge you to keep on sending those questions. Remember that we'll still keep those questions and send them over to the right people who are here. Ronah is here, and if any question with NCBA, how to guide you, they'll still get that. Remember, go for it. Go for that financial, plan you have or investment that you want to do. Go for it with NCBA Bank. And remember, this is where you'll keep doing and making the right and wisest decision to Family TV and NCBA Bank. And you talked about you've dealt with globalization, matters globalization. What impact does that have on the strategies that the diaspora community can use when it comes to investment?
Well, we have diaspora brothers and sisters who are already back home. Maybe they have retired. Yeah. They're used to a certain way of doing things. Okay. And fintech and innovation is actually assisting quite a lot in the banking space. Okay. And in this case, I'm talking about commercial and investment banking. So first, the onboarding process is made easy. During COVID, we learned also how to do meetings virtually. You realize that most of our investors that we onboard, we actually have a virtual meeting. They can also listen to now webinars. Most of the companies, there's a lot of information out there. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Fantastic. So that one will serve now the investor, and also it's also an opportunity for brands that are ready to serve investors and grow with them, an opportunity also to tap into the market.
Fantastic. Yeah. There's also another question. Is it questions? This one I'll read very fast because it's a long one. And they say, hi, Sally. I like today's training. I appreciate what you and the NCBA experts are doing. My question is, what's the current percentage rate on NCBA's equity fund, and what does the fund invest in? Secondly, do you have special fund like Standard Investment Bank's Mansa X, Faida's Oak Kuza Momentum. If so, what is it called and what are its features? Thanks, Jason. So probably, Ronah, you can take what's the current percentage rate on NCBA's equity fund as your closing remark as we come to the end of the show.
Fantastic. So what does the fund invest in? So the equity fund, it's predominantly around the shares. That's where we put a lot of the investment in.
Okay.
The rates have been, fluctuating here and there. I would say around 9% as we speak. But we can now definitely have other conversations and guide you on how to go about that kind of investment.
Yeah.
Just reach out to us. Yeah.
Nicholas, would you want to add something to that question? What is that as your closing remarks?
Yeah, so maybe I just could touch on money market.
Yeah.
So money market, they have an average, just an average of around 12-13% as of now. We also have special funds, which are market determined. They are not fixed funds. For instance, Standard Investment Bank, Mosaic Special Fund, has an average of 17.84. There's also Oak Fund, which is also in the same space, which also has some decent returns.
Yeah.
I also saw maybe Zimele and others. So what the investor needs to know is what we call balance funds. We also have equity funds. And their investment strategy is different. It also depends with what you're pursuing. So all these are to serve different needs. One, you having a safety net, you having an emergency fund, also pursuing growth as in your journey of wealth creation. So there is enough solutions.
There are enough.
And the investor cannot run out of options.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And unfortunately, we have to come to the end of the show. How time flies, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so an hour is gone. And I just want to say thank you so much for the insights, for the tips that you've given us this morning. I've also learned one or two things, and I'm also, finally, someone says, please link me with today's presenters, NCBA. Thank you. So we'll do that, Ronah, after the show. Asante sana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the interactions, for the feedback that you've been able to give us, for the questions, the comments, the compliments. We really do appreciate. And we'll definitely get back to you. For those who've asked for the contact, for the questions you've asked, you'll definitely get a feedback. Asante sana to also NCBA this morning for just ensuring that our audience has really been, someone actually called it training, they've called it a training, and they want to appreciate you. And so if you know that you want to be with a bank that has your best interest at heart, a bank that will take you through wealth management, wealth creation, teach you how to save, even if you're out there, diaspora, as I said earlier, this is the bank that you need. NCBA, go for it, and they'll be there waiting for you to work with you in this journey. And also, I will not leave without mentioning our partners, people who have ensured that this show is brought to you directly. We bring you clean content, interactive content, educative content. This has been done through the support of our partners, and we want to say thank you so much. And if you want to be part and parcel of that beautiful community called partners, then you can send in the word partner to 0786316316 WhatsApp line, SMS on 20316. And also, if you have any kind of support that you may want to bless Family Media with, then you can do that on paybill number 316316, and the account name shall be your telephone number. God bless you and keep you. See you again next week on Financial Clinic. We'll be talking about the role of financial advisors. Make sure you join us on that day, because we'll still be bringing the house down with NCBA. Go for it. See you then.